Today's topic is hypothyroidism. It is one way, it is not only a medical topic, medicinal topic rather, from point of medicine, not a point of medicine, from point of surgery, point of neurology, point of many other things. Hypothyroidism is the key of all the related subjects, starting from endocrine, neurology, everything. Is actually it produces fuel in the body, metabolic, main metabolic movement in the body, everything depends on thyroid function. So if a person is devoid of thyroid function, practically all the metabolic functions are deranged in every way. So read carefully. In any of the day of clinical practice, you will face some picture of hypothyroidism in either way. Either is increasing or decreasing. Mostly, I mean, pediatrics, we are concerned with more with hypothyroidism rather than hyperthyroidism. Hypothyroidism is there, but in a very smaller way. Hypothyroidism is not very important to us. Hypothyroidism is very important in pediatric practice. So hypothyroidism is a state of insufficient thyroid hormone action at the tissue level. That is the international definition. There are many things written in here and there, but actual definition is this. Hypothyroidism is a state of insufficient thyroid hormone action at the tissue level. Hypothyroidism most often results from deficient production of thyroid hormone caused either by a defect in the thyroid gland itself, that is primary hypothyroidism, or by reduced thyrotropin TSH stimulation, central or secondary hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism may be present from birth, congenital, or may be acquired. Although some acquired cases are due to congenital defects in which the onset of hypothyroidism is delayed. Now, this you have read in physiology. This is just a small review. There is colloid. This is the colloid in the thyroid follicles, and there is thyroid globulin synthesized from Golgi apparatus from this endoplasmic reticulum. It is stored in the in the form of vesicles, small vesicles, then follicles rather. In the thyroid containing this colloid is iodinized. This iodine is trapping oxidation, you all know, and there is a MIT and DIT. T1 is thyroglobulin is iodinized. The tyrosine molecules are iodized. These iodinated tyrosines are linked together to form T3, T4. This T3, T4 still tagged with the protein molecule. This thyroglobulin colloid is endocytosed and combined with a lysosome. So lysosomal vesicle is combined with that, and thereafter it is lysed, cleaved, T4, T3 from thyroglobulin colloid, and hormone diffused in the capillary. So this is a small review, you know these things, but this is important because there are many places where this enzyme block or other drug block this pathway. When a drug blocks or enzyme pathway, enzyme is deficient, these different steps, these are affected. Different steps are there, so different steps are affected. So this is important. These important effects of thyroid hormones. So what are the effects of thyroid hormones in the body? Heart varies. I will be faster because so many topics are there. So little bit listen carefully. Heart is chronotropic and inotropic. You know meaning what is meant by chronotropic and inotropic. Everything slowed down and power of the heart muscles are reduced. So chronotropic and inotropic, time and power. This increased number of beta adrenergic receptors. Cause is increased number of beta adrenergic receptors. What effect does the thyroid hormone? Increased numbers of beta receptors, enhanced response to circulatory catecholamines, increased proportion of alpha myosin heavy chain. This is, you might feel that somewhat difficult, but that is not difficult. It's the actual mechanism. Sometimes if you fare good in the examination, maybe asked even, what actually happens in case of thyroid deficiency. So in that way, I'll give a inner light to that whole thing. Only background of the thing is very important to learn for you. So next, adipose tissue, catabolic, stimulated lipolysis, muscle, catabolic, increased protein breakdown. These are actually, thyroid hormone is not an anabolic hormone. Thyroid hormone has got all catabolic effects. সুতরাং previously কেউ যদি রোগা হতে চাইতো একটু থাইরক্সিন খাইয়ে দিত previously in older days, in our times, 45-50 years ago, when we were students like you, in those days thyroxine was very popular, very bad weapon in the hands of many so-called practitioners. They used to give in thick fat lady and give thyroid hormones for some days. Bas দেখতে হবে না রোগা হয়ে গেল সে, কিন্তু this is not a good practice because this is the most, all catabolic effects on muscles you see here, adipose tissue everywhere. So catabolic, all these things. Increase protein breakdown, bone developmental, promote normal growth and skeletal development. This is important in pediatric practice, very important. Promote normal growth and skeletal development. I have given you one small question in MCQ. thyroid hormone, the proportion, all these things. Anyway, nervous system, developmental, promote normal brain development. Then gut, metabolic, increased rate of carbohydrate absorption. Lipoprotein, metabolic, formation of LDL receptors. These are metabolic effects, these things. Metabolic in general, catabolic, anabolic combined. Whether calorigenic, these other effects are calorigenic. This is hypothyroid baby, hypothyroid person always feel cold, there is under cold stress, or sometimes they are in hypothermia even. So in older ladies and others, they are very cold. You have seen the picture of hypothyroid lady with always a wrapper on, like that. So this is a calorigenic effect of thyroid hormone is very important in the body. Stimulated oxygen consumption by metabolically active tissues, uterus, lymph nodes, spleen, anteropituitary, increased metabolic rate. BMR, basic BMR is actually fundamentally, physiologically BMR depends on thyroid hormone level. If the thyroid hormone is depressed in the body or lower down, the BMR is goes down. That is very important. Next. So congenital hypothyroidism, most common preventable cause of mental retardation. Oh, next, when you will go in the further classes, I may take the class of intellectual disability. There a question comes. Now you can see this thing, most common preventable cause. This has very important medical legal value when coming to later on. In case of to prevention and detection of congenital hypothyroidism, we will come to that later on. Thyroid, now causes of permanent, two types of congenital hypothyroidism. One is permanent, later on it continues, and this is transient. We will come to that. This is permanent. So thyroid dysgenesis is a dysfunction in the gland itself. Defects in thyroid hormone synthesis and secretion. Thyroid dishormonogenesis. These two terms are different. A thyroid is structurally defective, and this is structurally all right, but it is thyroid dishormonogenesis, metabolic and physiological and biochemical problem in the thyroid hormone production itself. TSH resistance in the peripheral tissue resistance, I mean in the pituitary gland and others, TSH resistance mostly in pituitary gland. TSH and central hypothalamic pituitary, central hypothyroidism is above that from hypothalamus level. The causes of transient CH, but now then we come to transient one. Antithyroid drugs, then iodine excess. Iodine excess causes hypothyroidism. Remember, iodine lack will cause hypothyroidism in some way, and iodine excess can cause hypothyroidism by giving block to the production. So iodine excess, worldwide iodine deficiency, this is very important, we will come to later on. Transient hypothyroxemia prematurity, this is very important. If you further on in specialty go on that this premature thyroid assessment and the levels all are different, and there is transient prematurity is very important, a different world. Prematurity, those neonatology, they treat it differently. Is a transient hypothyroxemia is also there. A lot many problems out of that. TSH receptor blocking Ig antibodies coming from mother. Ig receptor blocking antibody and these large liver hemangiomas. Actually, there is also, this is a consumptive hypothyroidism. Consumptive hypothyroidism, this is a very term you must remember. There are in the walls of large hemangioma, like you have heard Kasabag-Merritt disease or like that. Kasabag-Merritt disease, large hemangioma, consumption of platelets, consumption of, you have seen the corpuscles, but there is consumption of thyroid hormone causing hypothyroxemia. This hypothyroxemia caused by the large hemangioma is mostly due to the production of cleaving enzymes in the walls of the hemangiomas. So that is what happens in large liver hemangiomas, breakdown of the thyroid hormone. Congenital hypothyroidism, just terminology, you just go through rapidly. Primary hypothyroidism, deficient production of thyroid hormones, either due structural or functional, I have told you. Secondary, deficient thyroid stimulating hormone, peripheral, just told you earlier. Peripheral hypothyroidism is a deficient thyroid hormone, transport, metabolism, action in the target tissue. Permanent congenital refers to a persistent deficiency of thyroid hormone that requires lifelong treatment. Transient congenital hypothyroidism refers to temporary deficiency of thyroid hormone discovered at birth, but then recovering to normal thyroid function production by age of 3 years. So we review this thing by age of 3 years. If the thyroid hormone function recovers, becomes normal at the age of 3 years, if it becomes normal, then it is there is no it is transient. But if does not recover and continues, then it is permanent, lifelong treatment needed. And syndromic hypothyroidism, last of all, some forms of CH associated other organ system with defects in other organ system will come to later on. Next, etiology of primary hypothyroidism, not to remember, just a recapitulation of the whole thing. This defect in fetal thyroid development, dysgenesis, aplasia, hyplasia, ectopy, you get the list in the book as well. Need not remember these things. Iodide transport defect, these are the dysharmonogenesis. Enzyme defect, I told you earlier, iodine transport defect, thyroid organification, coupling defect, mutation in thyroid peroxidase gene, this is important, very important. And defects in H2O2 generation, different enzyme mutations in genes, different genes, need to remember. Thyroglobulin synthesis defect, deiodination defect. Next, TSH unresponsiveness, different genetic problems, defect in thyroid hormone transport, iodine deficiency, maternal antibodies, all these things, maternal medications is important. Mother care, previously iodide containing cough syrup, very popular in those days. This is causing dangerous effects. Propyl thiouracil, methimazole, even it used today, radioiodine, not used in pregnant mothers, previously used. Now, etiology, secondary hypothyroidism, once again. Mutations, these are all the different deficiencies of this due to enzyme mutation, PROP1, PIT1. Did not remember these things, different mutations are there, central hypothyroidism, TSH deficiency, because that is also important. Subunit beta, this is important, TSH beta subunit gene. This is why this is important. This beta subunit gene is almost normal in many other central hormones like your LHA, LSH, FSH, those beta subunits are akin to the subunit of TSH. So ultimately you will see in some conditions, syndromic conditions, there is problem amenorrhea or all these things, gynecological disorder, atopic hypothyroidism. There are conditions. We will not discuss today, but you will find in your future classes. Multiple pituitary deficiencies, craniopharyngioma, causing these things, actually causing panhypopituitarism like that in a mechanical way. And TRH deficiency, isolated, multiple hypothalamic deficiency, septoptic dysplasia. This is a congenital defect. It's a very specific defect. TRH unresponsiveness, mutations is TRH receptor. So these are mostly genetic problems. These are central hypothyroidism and this causing different problems and syndromic situations. Etiology, peripheral hypothyroidism, resistance to thyroid hormone, thyroid receptor beta mutation of the receptor, abnormalities of thyroid hormone transport. These syndromes, remember, syndromic hypothyroidism, many names are there. So these are not important. Only one thing important, this Cockart-Debré-Semelin syndrome, muscular pseudohypertrophy is sometimes you see, I have seen few cases, though not that rare, sometimes found. So this is Cockart-Debré-Semelin. Benign chorea, hypothyroidism can cause chorea as well. Sometimes choreiform movements are there from hypothyroidism. So benign choreoathetosis is also possible sometimes. Obesity, you know, obesity colitis syndrome. Transient congenital hypothyroidism, maternal thyroidox, transplacental passage of maternal TSH receptor blocking antibody I have told you, and maternal neonatal iodine deficiency or excess. Deficiency or excess. You will get enough time to talk among yourselves, but I think if I go out, you won't have any idea about hypothyroidism. It's a very complex subject. If you go on talking and say, I will read at home, you will understand nothing. So this is a problematic situation, maternal and neonatal iodine deficiency or excess, whatever happens, this will lead to thyroid hormone dysfunction. This is very important. Worldwide we are concerned with deficiency. Here also iodized salt, throughout the day you take iodized salt, only knowing that the excess deficiency to be tackled, but excess is also important. Previously iodide containing cough syrup, all these things were in use, now not in vogue. Heterogeneous mutations, congenital hepatic hemangioma, all these things discussed. Next, congenital hypothyroidism, two scenarios, this is very important. Hypothyroid, see carefully, these two things I have given, normothyroid mother and hypothyroid fetus. Hypothyroid mother and hypothyroid fetus. So normothyroid mother and hypothyroid fetus, what is the outcome? Example, thyroid dysgenesis. Mother is normal, but thyroid structurally defective. Transplacental passage of hormones and increased type 2 deiodinase activity in fetal brain, confer neuroprotection. There are type 1, type 2 and type 3, that is a different thing. Converting your T4 to T3, that is a different enzyme. Deiodinase 1 and 2 more concerned, type 2 remains in the brain and type 1 in every other cell, including brain. But these two, what happens, these mechanisms are impaired. Out of this thyroid dysgenesis, these two mechanisms are very important, giving neuroprotection. These mechanisms are impaired here, but near normal cognitive outcome. Why? Because these things, they are present and they protect, giving neuroprotection. So near normal cognitive outcome is possible if postnatal therapy is initiated early. But when the baby comes out, maternal cover is not there. So once the baby is born, so always treatment of neonatal hypothyroidism is needed. Congenital hypothyroidism is needed. Here, no chance. No chance. There is iodine deficiency. These mechanisms are not there. No protection of the baby. So significant neurointellectual impairment occurs. That we have heard. That is cretinism. Cretin. So that is very important. So much so, it is so much neurointellectual problem appears in our times. If the student who is, I won't say bad student, but who is somewhat not that intelligent, our teachers that time, very harsh comments were passed by them. They would say, these cretins are not, why they are sitting there? All these cretins are there. So that time, cretin was a very popular term, common term for us. So cretin means significant neurointellectual impairment. There is no chance of further development. That is lifelong disability. That is important. Anyway. So nowadays teachers are very soft to you. Anyway, most infants with congenital hypothyroidism are asymptomatic at birth to the transplacental passage of maternal T4. Clinical features of congenital hypothyroidism is very important. It may appear in your future paper anytime. So by what happens actually, most infants with congenital hypothyroidism are asymptomatic at birth. You cannot diagnose only by seeing the patient, but clinically, due to the transplacental passage of maternal T4. Post maturity in 20%, gestation extends beyond 42 weeks. 20% gestation is prolonged. Why prolonged? Gynecologist will tell you. Why hypothyroidism is prolonged? They ask them and tell you. Many causes are there. Birth weight and length normal. At birth, weight and length are normal. Head size, because one thing I must say, so what is the driving force of the development of the fetus in utero? That is IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1, out of India. So insulin is the growth factor, I mean the material in the intrauterine life. In the infancy it is thyroid, and post-infancy it is growth hormone. So if you remember these three things in your lifetime, you will never get problem with your growth and development, all these things. So intrauterine is insulin, out of the baby coming in the world. So then comes first year is thyroid hormone. That is very important. That is why I am discussing today. And after 1 year infancy, one driving force going once again to the hands of. So most infants with congenital hypothyroidism are asymptomatic at birth to a transplacental passage of maternal T4. Post maturity, I told you, birth weight and length normal. You cannot diagnose by seeing the patient. That is why congenital screening, newborn screening, NBS, anytime question may come. Very important, medical legal also important. Congenital hypothyroidism is at least one test if you do at birth for congenital screening, newborn screening. That is for congenital hypothyroidism, CH. That has been many centers, it has become regular, though legislation has not been done. Any day legislation come, everywhere you have to do it. So anyway, now this is birth rate and length are normal. Head size may be slightly increased due to edema of the brain. Wide posterior fontanelle, this is important. Wide posterior fontanelle. I have not mentioned here, is not clinical practice. In your clinical class, you will learn what is how to clinically to assess large posterior fontanelle. What is large? Everything has got clinical value. What is large posterior fontanelle? You have given a newborn in your short case in MBBS examination. Examiner will ask, is fontanelle is normal? Posterior fontanelle, everything has measurement. Anyway. So large posterior fontanelle, wide posterior fontanelle, prolongation of physiologic jaundice is extremely important. Immaturity, hepatic glucuronidase transferase, sluggishness, little cry, baby is docile, not crying. The mother says, my baby is good. That's a poor appetite, feeding difficulties, very always in drowsy, drooling, sleepy baby, not taking food properly, not sucking breast milk always in normal way. Lack of interest, somnolence. As we find somebody of in the class, always somnolence, protuberant abdomen, very important, umbilical hernia, extremely. Don't think that all umbilical hernia, babies with umbilical hernia have got hypothyroidism. In the other way around, hypothyroidism will produce umbilical hernia in majority of the cases. So it is not the same thing in the other way. So all umbilical hernia, don't see one umbilical hernia, jump on it as hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism produces umbilical hernia, but all patients with babies with umbilical hernia, they do not have hypothyroidism. So this is umbilical hernia. Macroglossia, extremely important. Large tongue, always some part of it coming out of mouth. Large tongue. Cold or mottled skin, hypotonia. This is also important. All these pictures are extremely important. Any time it appears from the MBBS to MD examination paper in different ways. Clinical features of congenital hypothyroidism. Now the clinical features, by 3 to 6 months of age, by 3 to 6 months of age, the clinical picture is fully developed. If untreated, once again, if untreated. The child's growth will be, I tell you repeatedly why I have taken the first class in your batch with hypothyroidism. It was, took it in the last class, I actually not done, they didn't come. But anyway, this is important so that if you miss a baby, you are at a somewhere in nursing home and here and there as so-called RMO and otherwise, chalta hai, so you are passing the days. The baby had got hypothyroidism, didn't care to screen the baby. After 6 months or 1 year, you will get a summon from court and with a compensation of 50 crores. We have seen one baby died and two doctors got notice of 50 crores compensation. The father was lawyer. So you will get one at least 1 crore, minimum 1 crore now in the court. So getting a baby, you just miss the baby. Chalta hai, 1 crore compensation because it's permanently brain damaged. It will not recover by any means. So remember this thing. This is high, great medical legal importance. If you miss the baby at newborn period, bus, if literally you untreated, the child's growth will be stunted, the extremities are short and the head size normal even increased. Coarse facial features, this is the clinical appearance, eyes appear far apart and the bridge of the nose broad depressed in many cases. Palpebral fissures are narrow, bridge of the nose depressed in many other conditions. Say in case of, sometimes you see thalassemia, different cause. So different cause, many, same picture, same thing for different conditions, very important in medical practice. So bridge of the nose is broad nose and bridge of the nose is depressed, the palpebral fissures are narrow, eyelids are swollen, mouth is kept open, all these mixed tissue, eyelids are swollen, mouth is kept open and thick broad tongue protrudes, thick broad tongue. Dentition will be delayed, the neck is short and thick and there may be deposits of fat above the clavicles and between the neck and shoulders. So that is the hands are broad and the fingers are short, the skin is dry and scaly. And there is little perspiration. Myxedema is going on. Myxedema is manifested particularly in the skin of the eyelids, back of the hands and the external genitals. Carotenemia, yellowish discoloration of skin, can cause a yellow discoloration of skin, but the sclera remains white. The scalp is thickened and the hair is coarse, brittle and scanty. Hairline reaches far down to the forehead. Development is delayed. Voice is hoarse. This is very important. In previous days, in our times, those times teachers are all trained in England and Royal College, I mean. So they would say that we diagnose, in those days, they would say we diagnose hypothyroid patient over the telephone. Calling the doctor, sir, diagnosed as hypothyroidism over the telephone. And it was absolutely correct in 100% cases. If voice is normal, sharp and crisp, the patient doesn't have hypothyroidism. Untreated hypothyroidism is not possible. So this is very important. Voice is hoarse. Asexual maturation may be delayed, maybe even early. I have not discussed in case of your congenital permanent hypothyroidism, maybe reverse also, but that is a complicated affair. We will discuss later on. Clinical features of congenital hypothyroidism. You see the picture. This is a common picture you have seen in many books. These are just I have taken from different pictures. Now one thing, skeletal features. Sometimes the question may appear in your question paper. The clinical features, skeletal features is actually postgraduate question anyway. Still you must learn it. What happens on skeletal structure? Skull, rapid recapitulation, skull delayed closure of fontanelle, relatively large sella. Sella means inside sella turcica. Poorly developed paranasal sinuses. Brachycephaly. What is brachycephaly? Anybody? Brachycephaly widely, the skull is widely, that is more wider than an anteroposterior diameter. So side to side the head is wider than anteroposteriorly. So that is a peculiar head, box-like and rather bad type of appearance. So this is brachycephaly, poorly developed paranasal sinus, brachycephaly, delayed dentition and dental caries. This is very important. Poor structure of the tooth. Ormian bones. So you know what is Ormian bones? Small floating bones with irregular margin. Skeleton, dwarfism. This dwarfism is very important. Increased density, even by measuring the skeletal measurement, I mean anthropometry in a child, if you are intelligent enough, you can jolly well say clinically baby doesn't have hypothyroidism. Certainly not in the neonatal period, later on when manifestation after 6 months I have told you. So that time you can say, and as the days go by, so you can see this skeleton, more effect on the skeleton. Dwarfism is always there. Increased density. Epiphyseal centers of ossification, retarded growth, multicentric and irregular, delayed fusion and stippled appearance. This is very important. From X-ray you can see. If you get later any time in your ward, you can see the X-ray, stippled appearance. Epiphyseal dysgenesis, this is very important term. Fragmentation epiphysis, this term you must remember. Epiphyseal dysgenesis, fragmented epiphysis. Spine, kyphosis, flattening of vertebral bodies, increased width of intervertebral space. And this bullet-shaped vertebral body, this classical L1 and L2, this bullet-shaped vertebral body found. Long bones, short-limbed dwarfism. Short-limbed, limbs are short. Many types of dwarfism are there. If you read short-limbed and short trunk, this is one of the causes of short-limbed dwarfism. Dense transverse bands at metaphyseal ends. And pelvis narrow with coxa vara deformity. So ultimately gait and all these things are abnormal. Coxa vara produces abnormal gait, abnormal movement. Is very important. Screening for congenital hypothyroidism. This is extremely important. What I told medical legal importance. Ideal is universal newborn screening at 3 to 4 days of age. Actually beyond 48 hours but not exceeding 4 days. Ideal for on the third day. Ideal on third day. Universal screening, most cases are sporadic in iodine sufficient areas and intellectual impairment can be prevented if treatment is initiated early. In the absence of universal screening, newborns or following indication must be screened. This is the universal. Universal means to be done for everybody, to be done for every newborn child. That is universal. And when you get some indications, what are the indications when you must do it? Having clinical features of congenital hypothyroidism or family history. You have already read the clinical features of congenital, if you find anything like that in early life or family history. History of thyroid disease or antithyroid medication intake in mother, and presence of conditions like Down syndrome, trisomy 18, neurological defects, congenital heart disease, metabolic disorders, familial autoimmune disorders like Pierre-Robin syndrome, which are associated with higher prevalence of congenital hypothyroidism. See, these 1, 2, 3, these are the features actually I would say for yesteryears. Nowadays, nobody you can say absolutely there is thyroid function is normal. So if you miss hypothyroidism, कुछ देखा तो नहीं जाता है भाई, चला तो वो छोड़ दो उसको बस 1 crore rupee compensation minimum. So remember this thing, universal screening for congenital hypothyroidism is a rule. Sutran, don't miss it. Now Quebec, this is somewhat interesting, but you must have a chart on your side if you can remember. In clinical practice in many places, this chart is under the glass of the table. Always Quebec clinical scoring for congenital hypothyroidism. Now this is the clinical stigma, feeding problems, number 1. Number 2, constipation. These are all 1 point screening problem. Hypotonia, 1. Lethargy, 1. Coarse facies, 3. This is very important. Macroglossia, 1. Open posterior fontanelle, 1.5. This is also important feature. Dry skin, 1.5. Mottling of skin, 1. Umbilical hernia, 1. Total is 13. So if the score is 4 by 13, or more than 4, I mean, hypothyroidism is suspected and child is investigated accordingly. So by this Quebec, there is very recent and very important grading, this Quebec scoring. If you do this scoring on a bedside or whatever it is, you will get more than 4 years, certainly hypothyroidism is there, more or less. And this is important. Actually, by wide posterior fontanelle, I can tell you, anterior fontanelle has different measurements. Posterior fontanelle, if you see the baby at birth, full term, I mean full term, not premature one, full term, where the anterior posterior fontanelle is more than the size of a little finger, tip of the little finger, the posterior fontanelle is enlarged. I am giving you the tips, clinical tips, we will discuss in the clinical class, still I am giving the tip here. Many things to be read throughout the life. Anyway, this you can somewhat indistinct, I don't want to go through this, you will get a better picture later on. This is a complicated thing because it is a big chart and this is not very bad, I tell you. One thing if you can see, it the screening to ঠিক যাই হোক আমি একটা কথা বলে দিচ্ছি এটা থেকে এখানে you can see one thing, TSH cord blood what is done at third day, if it is more than 40, just remember this, forget these things, more than 40, if it is more than 40 international units TSH, the patient has got hypothyroidism, without any delay you start treatment because you cannot wait more than 14 days, 2 weeks and it is gone. So you start treatment and you then screen, then go do the screening and all these investigations there. If it is more than 40, it is absolutely the hypothyroid. Less than 20, the baby is normal, and in between 20 to 40, this is the TSH level. So in between the international units per liter. So this is if you are 20 to 40, then it is investigation to recall. I mean investigation to be continued. All these things. Next. Now approach to a newborn. This is important. You see with positive screening test for congenital hypothyroidism. Positive screening test means on filter paper sample. It is a special filter paper. This is not ordinary filter paper. So serum T4 and you see the serum T4 free thyroxine done actually with TSH. Now you have got it, the baby is already positive. You have positive screening. You now doing this thing, free thyroxine, normal, nothing to be done. Start treatment. Don't wait for scan. Don't wait for scan. Abnormal thyroid scan. If the report is abnormal, go for thyroid scan. Scan may be normal, scan may be absent uptake, scan may be ectopic or ectopic thyroid gland, ectopic scan. So you'll go for a normal scan, absent uptake. You see these things. Now abnormal T4 TSH and normal thyroid scan. Abnormal T4 TSH is low, but thyroid scan is normal. What happens? Thyroid globulin measurement, normal. Thyroid binding inhibitory immunoglobulin measurement. If positive, transient congenital hypothyroidism. If negative, thyroid hormone synthetic defect or drug effect. And if it is absent, thyroid globulin synthetic defect. This is over. Then abnormal T4 TSH and absent uptake on thyroid scan. Abnormal T4 TSH scan भी नहीं है. Scan नहीं कोई thyroid दिखाई नहीं देता. Then what will happen? What is that? Ultrasound. Normal gland. TB thyroid binding inhibitory immunoglobulin TB11 बोला है या measurement positive TSH receptor or thyroid hormone biosynthetic defect or negative transient congenital hypothyroidism. Once again, so coming from this one abnormal T4 TSH and absent uptake in thyroid scan, then we go for ultrasound and no thyroid tissue in ultrasound, thyroid agenesis or dysgenesis, whatever, thyroid agenesis. So it's very simple. These two charts, if you can follow, the outcome is very clear. What is thyroid hormone function condition? This is once again a chart for algorithm for the workup of congenital hypothyroidism. So I told you earlier, primary hypothyroid. So this is USG and this scan is technician 10 scan is done if possible. Then absent on both athyrosis, ectopic thyroid, small gland, the same thing is told here. Those two charts are very important. You remember rather these two charts, this one and this one is very important for you. So these two charts are important. Then you go to treatment, that is important for you. This is important for your exam purpose and also for Viva and practical everywhere. Treatment of congenital hypothyroidism. Infants with low T4 and elevated TSH should be started on L-thyroxine as soon as the diagnosis, as soon as. You need not wait for any further assessment. As soon as diagnosis is made. Initial dose L-thyroxine, remember 10 to 15 micrograms per kg per day. Sometimes. Infants with severe hypothyroidism, what is meant by that? Very low T4, very high TSH and absence of distal femoral and proximal tibial epiphysis on radiograph of knee. These may be asked in MBBS examination even final. This is not postgraduate, undergraduate. Very low T4, very high TSH and absence of distal femoral and proximal tibial. One taken on radiograph of the knee joint, and if you find no normally for baby you will see the epiphysis in the distal femoral and at least one and also proximal tibial. Distal femoral must be there. So if it is not there or this in the radiograph, the absence in the typical on the radiograph of knee, it should be started with the highest dose of 15. That is importance. Where is the importance? Given to the highest dose 10 to 15. So 10 বা কবে দেবো 15 বা কবে দেবো স্যার, এই হচ্ছে কবে 15 দেওয়া হবে। 15 micrograms are হবে skeletal problem এবং severe হলে। Preferred preparation is sodium levothyroxine, it has uniform potency, all these things. Levothyroxine is given. Daily dose should be crushed and placed directly on the tongue in the morning. Small baby, newborn baby, so that is why. Iron and calcium preparations interfere with absorption. Don't give these things with this thyroxine, levothyroxine. If a dose is missed, then double dose should be given on the next day. This is important. काम के लिए माँ भूल गया, the dose is missed in the baby, double dose on the next day. Treatment of congenital hypothyroidism, goal of therapy. T4 should be kept in the upper half of normal range, 10 to 16 microgram per deciliter. This is the normal range, is upper half, say 13, 14 like that. Or free thyroxine, free T4 in the 1.4 to 2.3. Free thyroxine 1.2.3 nanograms per deciliter range with the TSH suppressed in the normal range. TSH should be kept in normal level. It takes less than a week for T4. How long it will take? Mother में आज कितना दिन लगेगा ठीक होने से? ये it takes less than a week for T4 to raise and 4 to 5 weeks for TSH to normalize. Normally, follow-up is done by the doctor by assessing the TSH. And if you don't have good idea, after doing every week TSH चलता है, कोलकाता को TSH को प्रति सप्ताह. अब प्रति सप्ताह भाई नौ वही रिपोर्ट ही आस्ते. TSH डिप्रेस एलिवेटेड कम नहीं हुआ. 2-3 दिन के बाद वो मारवाड़ी लेडी बहुत गुस्सा आया, क्या आप करते हैं एवरी वीक इतना रुपया खर्च करते एसेस करते हैं, আমি নিজে কানে শুনছি বসে এক জায়গায়, তো কিছু হচ্ছে না, চলে যাওয়ার পর আমি বললাম তুমি না করছো কেন, এ তো সময় লাগবে, 1.5 মাস টাইম লাগে, তা ইফ ইউ ডোন্ট হ্যাভ দ্য আইডিয়া ইউ উইল লুজ বোথ দ্য ফেথ অফ দ্য পেশেন্ট অ্যান্ড অলসো অ্যান্ড আদার থিংস আই শুড নট সে এভরি টাইম. সো 4 to 5 weeks now court is after you, all the lawyers and court always after the doctors, remember. Now, it takes less than a week for T4 and to raise 4 to 5 weeks for TSH to normalize. This is very important. Assure the mother and ask them, it will almost 1.5 months for 5 weeks normalize. Monitoring T4 and TSH should be monitored according to following schedule. 0 to 6 months, every 6 weeks. This schedule is very important for you. 0 to 6 months. Every 6 weeks, 6 months to 3 years, every 3 months, beyond 3 years, every 6 months, and 6 to 8 weeks after any dose change. If you change any dose, after seeing this report, you think that dose should be elevated or reduced, whatever, but for evaluation of the situation, what will happen, what is the effect of your dose change, 6 to 8 weeks, after 6 to 8 weeks, you do the test. And growth and development of infants should be monitored. This is extremely important. I told you earlier, a normal baby or child with a normal growth and development, और जरूरत नहीं है देखे एसेस करने का, ठीक है सब, थायराइड का गड़बड़ नहीं है बस. सो ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ इन्फेंट्स शुड बी मॉनिटर्ड. ओवर ट्रीटमेंट, प्रीमैच्योर फ्यूजन ऑफ क्रेनियल, इफ यू समबडी गिविंग वेरी हाई डोज, भाई तुरंत ठीक करना होगा बस. प्रीमैच्योर फ्यूजन ऑफ क्रेनियल सूचर्स, एक्सीलरेशन ऑफ स्केलेटल मैच्योरेशन एंड प्रॉब्लम्स विथ टेम्पारामेंट एंड बिहेवियर. গুসা মে তো বাচ্চা এত রেগে যাবে কামড় দিতে পারে তোমাকে, কাজেই চিন্তা করো যে এটা টেম্পারামেন্ট পার্টি. হাইপারথাইরয়েডিজমে তাই হয়, যাই বলছি হাইপারথাইরয়েডিজম বা ট্রিটমেন্ট হাইপারথাইরয়েডিজমে তাই হয় আর কি, সেম থিং. ট্রিটমেন্ট অফ কনজেনিটাল হাইপারথাইরয়েডিজম কন্টিনিউড ইন কেস অফ পার্মানেন্ট হাইপারথাইরয়েডিজম. দিস ইজ ইম্পর্টেন্ট. পার্মানেंट हाइपोथायराइडिज्म द केयर गिवर शुड बी काउंसल्ड. दिस इज इम्पोर्टेंट, नहीं तो बहुत कुछ होगा. रिगार्डिंग द नेचर ऑफ द कंडीशन, नीड ऑफ लाइफ लॉन्ग थेरेपी, कॉम्प्लायंस एंड थेराप्यूटिक मॉनिटरिंग. Transient hypothyroidism presumed to be due to maternal goitrogenic drugs. Nowadays, this is not given concerned, but previously it would happen regularly. Treated in low T4 and high. If needs to be treated, if low T4 and high TSH, this is not given here, high TSH. Therapy can be discontinued after 8 to 12 weeks if values return to normal. This is due to drug-induced or goitrogenic drugs. This does not continue for long, temporary. Intake of antithyroid drugs can be continued by the hyperthyroid mother, remember, during breastfeeding, because concentration of drugs is very low in breast milk. Mother has got hyperthyroidism, Graves' disease or whatever like that, taking some drugs and coming to your clinic with great faith on you, with the baby in the lap, asking you, sir, should I continue drugs with the baby? Or you are not busy somewhere in your mind, you are busy somewhere. नहीं सब बंद कर दीजिए, बस चला गया mother. उसके बाद जो होगा, অ্যাকচুয়ালি এইসব জিনিস আমি নিজে দেখেছি, কানে এত বছরে নানা রকম জিনিস, একদম লোমহর্ষক অ্যাডভাইস যাকে বলে. থাইরয়েড নিয়ে যে ধারণা না লোকে, তোমাদের বলছি রিড ইট কেয়ারফুলি, স্টার্ট দ্য ফার্স্ট ক্লাস থরলি. ইফ ইউ রিড মোর দ্যান দিস তো দ্যাট উইল কম পড় জায়গা. আমি যে বলাই জিস্ট, যেটা আজকে দেখাচ্ছি জিস্ট, এতে বেশি পড়ো তো খারাপ নয়. সো প্রগনোসিস, ইট ডিपेंड्स ऑन एज ऑफ ऑनसेट ऑफ ट्रीटमेंट, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. मेडिको लीगल करोड़ का कॉम्पेंसेशन आएगा, केस समन को कोर्ट का समन आएगा. डिपेंड्स द एज ऑफ ट्रीटमेंट, स्टार्टिंग डोज ऑफ L-thyroxine and severity of hypothyroidism. These three combined. When you have started treatment, getting the baby, how you have treated with the dose, starting dose, and severity of hypothyroidism. Is the less severe, lower dose. More severe, I have told you just now, higher the dose. Age of onset of treatment, infants in whom treatment was started between birth and 3 months of age. Remember, though 3 months is very late. These 3 months very late. I am just giving comparison. Started between birth and 3 months of age, the mean IQ was 89 in one study, I tell you. Between 3 and 6 months of age, see IQ 71. While the treatment did not start until 6 months of age, the mean IQ dropped to 54. I can tell you from my report from another place. In Doon school, the study was done, or IQ comparison of different classes. It was found that the difference of IQ between the student in the first bench and last bench, serially, first to last, IQ difference is only 3. Only 3. First boy and last boy difference. So here, you can see the IQ difference, IQ 89, then is 71, and then 54. Just treatment starting, I am giving this comparison for this thing. So, starting dose of L-thyroxine outcome is better in a child high dose 10.1 to 15 rather than low dose 6 to 8 microgram per kg per day and intermediate dose 8 to 1. So, outcome is better. If you know this, always try to give in the higher side, otherwise not contact, but not 15, but not less than 10. In one, not less than 10. That is important. Severity of hypothyroidism, neonates having complete athyrosis, who do not have any function, very low pretreatment T4 levels and presenting with epiphyseal dysgenesis is a poorer outcome. Poorer outcome. One thing I tell you, even if you treat, mother ko bolna hai, so maa ke bola debe tumra sob, ami banglaয় কথাটা বললাম কেন অনেকেই ফলো করতে পারবে না হলে, যে বাচ্চা নিয়ে এসছে congenital hypothyroidism তুমি ট্রিট করলে, ট্রিটমেন্ট দিলে, একদম ছোট বয়সে আরম্ভ করলে, still it has been found that normal IQ or normal intellectual functioning, complete intellect, that is the thing, is not there. इसका ऊपर वाला का खेल ऐसा ही है, पेटे আছে মার থেকে পাচ্ছে থাইরয়েড সাপ্লাই মা দেয় একটা স্মল 1/4 অফ দ্য ব্লাড লেভেল, তাতে বাচ্চা নিউরো প্রোটেকশন হয়, কিন্তু নিউরো প্রোটেকশন ফিজিওলজিক্যালি হয় বটে, কিন্তু কিছু ওই ল্যাকুনি থেকে যায় গ্যাপ, যার জন্য যদি কনজেনিটাল হাইপোথাইরয়েডিজম হয়, ইট ইজ অলমোস্ট ভেরি আনফর্চুনেট থিং। এবং ওই যে তোমায় বললাম 3 IQ ফার্স্ট বেঞ্চ লাস্ট বেঞ্চ, ওই সেই আইকিউ ওই ডিফারেন্স ওইটা মেরে দেয় জানে, যতই তুমি তবু স্টিল আমরা তো বাচ্চা বেরিয়ে আসার আগে কিছু করতে পারবো না, বেরিয়ে এলে চিকিৎসা অ্যাজ আর্লি অ্যাজ পসিবল 15 ডেজ আগে করতে হবে, তুমি যদি 2-3 দিনে করো আরও ভালো রিপোর্ট পেয়ে, কিন্তু ওই ইন্টারভিউটার পিরিয়ডের যে ল্যাকুনিটি, যে গ্যাপটা হয়, সেটা পুরোপুরি মা ঠিক করতে পারে না, এটা একটা ব্যাপার, মেজরিটি ঠিক হলেও। নেক্সট কতক্ষণ আছে? Iron deficiency disorders is important. You have seen many pictures of this creatinine, all this refers to the wide spectrum of effects of iron deficiency. Refers to the wide spectrum of effects of iron deficiency on growth and development. Endemic goiter, one thing. What is endemic goiter? You will be asked in examination. Coming to that, endemic cretinism, impaired mental function in children is always there. Goiter in adults, even the goiter in adults with goiter, and increased rate of stillbirth and perinatal, increased rate of stillbirth and perinatal and infant mortality. These are the effects of iron deficiency disorders. In adults also, goiter is also there. You have seen many places in Himachal Pradesh and others, all the adults are moving with large goiters. These are the iron deficient states in areas, in hilly areas. The iodine is not there, and we have got a fortified iodine thereafter. Now, endemic cretinism, disorders associated with endemic cretinism and severe iodine deficiency. Severe iodine deficiency. Features: deaf mutism, squint, mental retardation, spastic rigid neuromotor disorder, spastic or rigid neuromotor disorder. 2 types, neurological, mixed edematous. 2 types are there. Now, neurological, deaf mutism, squint, proximal spasticity, just read it and thereafter try to remember carefully. Squint, the proximal spasticity, rigidity more in the lower extremities. Why in the lower extremities? Because after birth, lower limbs are starting increasing a rapid pace. মা বলতে পায়ে সব জামা জিনিস ছোট হয়ে যাচ্ছে, তারপরে হাত, ওই যে বাচ্চা যখন ছোটো হয়, আমরা বলে দিই প্যান্টগুলো বড় বড় কিনুন, 1-1.5 বছর অবধি পরতে পারবে, জামা তবু কিছুদিন চলে, প্রথম পা বড় হতে থাকে শাঁসা করে। আপার সেগমেন্ট, এবারে কোশ্চেন ছিল আমারই দেওয়া, আপার সেগমেন্ট লোয়ার সেগমেন্টে রেশিও কোনটা এফেক্টেড হয়? 4টে, কি যা উত্তর দিয়েছে না, বলে কাজ নেই। লোয়ার সেগমেন্ট ইম্পেয়ার্ড হয়ে যায় গ্রোথ, কিন্তু ট্রাঙ্কাল গ্রোথ মোটামুটি ঠিক থাকে তখনও, কিন্তু লোয়ার সেগমেন্ট ছোটো হয়ে আর বাড়ে না ঠিক মতো। এই থাইরয়েড হরমোনের মেন কাজই যেখানে বলা আছে, রিজিডিটি মোর ইন দ্য লোয়ার এক্সট্রিমিটিস, rigidity more in the lower extremities, effect হতে থাকে। Disorders of stance and gait, কক্সাভেরা থাকে, আর অনেক কিছু আছে, হাইপোটোনিয়া, কক্সাভেরা, অনেক কিছু ক্লিনিক্যাল এতে আলোচনা হবে। Disorders of stance and gait with preservation of vegetative function, মানে সে একরকম খাচ্ছে দাচ্ছে ঘুমোচ্ছে এই পর্যন্ত, পায়খানা পেচ্ছাপ করছে এই পর্যন্ত, ভেজিটেটিভ ফাংশন। অকেশনাল সাইন্স অফ সেরিবেলার অকুলোমোটর ডিস্টার্বেন্স, আরও পরে যদি পড়াশোনা করে স্পেশালাইজ জানতে পারবে। সিভিয়ার মেন্টাল ডেফিসিয়েন্সি, এই এক ইন্টেলেক্ট ইজ ওয়ান থিং, उसको মানে ওপরওয়ালা যাকে কি কাকে কি দেবে কেউ জানে না, গরিব বড়লোক সব তাদের সেই ওইখানে তফাৎ নেই কোনো। সো ভালো পড়াশুনো, উচ্চস্তরের পড়াশোনা, একটা ইন্টেলেক্ট মন দিয়ে পড়লে সে মার্বেল খেলে বেড়ালো অন্য কথা, বা এখন হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ, কিন্তু পড়াটা মাথায় নেবে কি না সেই যে কমপ্লিট ইন্টেলেকচুয়াল ফাংশন, মানে কগনিটিভ ফাংশন অ্যাবসলিউট, সেটা কিন্তু তার পেছনে আন্ডার কারেন্ট কিন্তু থাইরয়েড ফাংশন সাংঘাতিক ইম্পর্টেন্ট। হেরিডিটি আদার সব বাদ দিচ্ছি আমি। সো দ্যাট ইজ এক্সট্রিমলি ইম্পর্টেন্ট। নর্মাল মেন্টাল ফাংশন সে বাচ্চা আজ যাই হোক থাইরয়েড গন্ডগোল নেই। মিক্সিডেমাটাস, retarded psychomotor development, severe short stature, coarse facial features, and myxedema. Psychomotor development, severe short stature, coarse facial features, myxedema without deaf mutism. This deaf mutism is here. Myxedema without deaf mutism. This is myxedematus type. Deaf mutism is not there. So this is discerning point. Deaf mutism and squint. Neurological findings are more here. Prevalence of goiter in a defined population more than 5%. So what is endemic goiter? You may even ask in examination on clinical practice. What is meant by endemic goiter? So sorry. So this is stage 0, no goiter. This is just staging. But is prevalence of the goiter in a defined population must be more than 5%. So if it is more than 5%, you can get endemic goiter. এন্ডেমিক বলো না, এন্ডেমিক, এপিডেমিক, প্যান্ডেমিক, অনেক কিছু টার্ম তোমরা শুনেছো সেই করোনার সময় থেকে শুনে আসছো। তো হোয়াট ইজ এন্ডেমিক? এন্ডেমিক গয়টার একটা উদাহরণ হচ্ছে মানে একটা রিজিয়নে আবদ্ধ হয়ে আছে, ইন এ স্পেসিফাইড এরিয়া যদি হয় তার একটা রেশিও হিসেব আছে, এখানে হিসেবটা হচ্ছে মোর দ্যান 5% পপুলেশন। সো দ্যাট ইজ এন্ডেমিক গয়টার এরিয়া। বলো শান্তিকেতন এন্ডেমিক গয়টার হয়েছে, মোর দ্যান 5% লোকে এখানে যদি কোনো গয়টার পাওয়া যায় তো শান্তিকেতন এন্ডেমিক গয়টার। তো যাই হোক, stage 1 is no goiter, stage 0, stage 1 now goiter starts with this, stage 1A goiter detectable palpable. Actually this is a clinical staging. Goiter detectable but palpable, not visible when neck is extended. Detectable but by palpation, you can detect it by palpation but not visible. Stage 1B, goiter palpable and visible when head is extended. Stage 2, goiter visible when neck is normal position. Stage 3, very large goiter can be recognized as the considerable distance. Visible clearly from distance, very clearly visible. But this is a clinical staging, you must see. And I tell you, theory যা পড়ো তোমাদের এই সিনিয়র ব্যাচে খুব খারাপ অবস্থা। আমি নেগলিজিটি দেখাতে বলেছি, একজন মাথাটা নিয়ে সে পুতুল যেমন আড়ে নড়ে কিলো পাস করবে, এর কদিন পর পরীক্ষা নেবো, আমি তো কিছু করতে পারবো না, এক্সট্রা নম্বর দেবে আর বলে স্যার ফেল করে দিয়েছেন, কড়া পরীক্ষা নেন। তাই এগুলো কারণ হচ্ছে তোমরা যতটা এখানে স্পেন্ড করো, যেটুকু টাইম তাও ওখানে গিয়ে স্পেন্ড করো না। আরে এখানে বসবে শুধু থিওরিটিক্যাল জানার জন্য কিছু শুনে নিলে, মেন সময় স্পেন্ড করার চেষ্টা করো ওয়ার্ডে। এইসব জিনিস থিওরি শুনে কিচ্ছু হবে না, তোমার সামনে পেশেন্ট দিয়ে দেবো তাও তুমি ডিসাইড করতে পারবে না কত ডিগ্রি। কিন্তু তুমি 2 বার দেখো পারলে না, 3 বার দেখো, 5 বার দেখো, তাও তুমি আমার থেকে ভালো পারবে। দ্যাট ইজ দ্য ইম্পর্টেন্স অফ ক্লিনিক্স। Prevention and control, iodized, yes we all know iodized salt or iodinated salt, whatever you say. Iodized salt, surgical remover, big goiter, cosmetic purpose, recommended daily intake of iodine, this is important. And undergo iodine through salt. Children up to age of 10, 40 to 120. This just you can need not remember, just see. Older children 150, pregnancy 25 additional, lactation 50 microgram additional. So this is the amount of iodine. কতটা iodine দিনে লাগবে, daily iodine requirement. This is important. Etiology of juvenile hepatitis, once again important is only 2 things I will tell you. Chronic autoimmune thyroiditis, Hashimoto's lymphocytic thyroiditis, autoimmune polyendocrine disorders. Rest you need not remember. This is very important. Hashimoto's thyroiditis is almost majority, very large number. Then evaluation is important. Proper family history, examination, type of goiter, thyroid function test, and TTPO, thyroid peroxidase, MRI brain, bone age. This is the clinical presentation and implications of hypothyroidism. This is very big chart, I won't read, I am giving you for you. This is from textbook Nelson. You read it carefully at home. So everywhere you see what are the clinical findings, general metabolism, what happens, and these findings, read carefully. Body mass index, low metabolic rate, myxedema, hypothermia, all these things. Neurological effect, neurosensory effect, gastrointestinal, endocrinologic, musculoskeletal, and all these things, read it carefully. Very big chart, but many things are given, everything is there. If anybody asks you effect on hair, skin and hair, even then you can dry skin, hair loss, signs and implications, clinical signs ki coarse skin, loss of lateral eyebrow, yellow palms of the hand, alopecia areata, খাবলা চুল এখানে ওখানে হয়ে আছে, আর lateral 1/3 of eyebrow নিজে নিজে আইব্রাউটা দেখে চিন্তিত হো না। ল্যাটারাল 1/3 অফ আইব্রো, যে কটা ডিজিজ আছে, 2-3টে ডিজিজ আছে, তার মধ্যে হাইপোথাইরয়েডিজম একটা। ল্যাটারাল 1/3 অফ আইব্রাউ পড়ে যায় এবং মিডিয়াল দিকে চুলটা থাকে আইব্রাউতে। নিজে নিজে ছবি আয়নায় দেখে ভড়কিও না, অনেক ফিজিওলজিক্যালি পাওয়া যায়। এবারে হচ্ছে এটাও একটা অ্যালগোরিদমিক অ্যাপ্রোচ টু জুভেনাইল হাইপোথাইরয়েডিজম, প্রচুর আছে, আমি বলবো না, আজকে সময় নেই এটা বলার। এটা বিগ চার্ট, পারলে পড়ে নিও বাড়িতে। তোমাদের এরম কোশ্চেন এটা আসবে না, এই স্ক্রিনিংটা আসবে না, কিন্তু ওই ক্লিনিক্যাল কোশ্চেনগুলো আসবে। স্টিল ফর অ্যাকাডেমিক পারপাস আই হ্যাভ গিভেন ইট। ম্যানেজমেন্ট, দিস ইজ ইম্পর্টেন্ট, দিস ইজ ইম্পর্টেন্ট। এল থাইরক্সিন ডোজ ইজ 100 মাইক্রোগ্রাম পার স্কোয়ার মিটার। আমি এখানে 25 জনকে দেখেছি, ট্রিটমেন্ট হচ্ছে ফ্র্যাঙ্ক হাইপোথাইরয়েডিজম 50 মাইক্রোগ্রাম লিভোথাইরক্সিন, কিছুই হবে না তার। তোমাকে যদি 1 চামচে ভাত খেতে দুপুরবেলা, তোমার কী হবে? কিছুই হবে না, তাহলে কিছু হলো না, যেমন তেমন পড়ে আছে। ওই 1 মাস অন্তর চেম্বারে যায় আর আসে না, যেখানে আউটডোরে আসছে আর যাচ্ছে। অর্থাৎ প্রপার ডোজ অফ থাইরক্সিন ইজ এক্সট্রিমলি ইম্পর্টেন্ট, more important than not being treated. No, even do not treat, that is one thing is better, because only the patient or mother has got complacency and child is jaisa aisa hi hai. So gradual build of dose, empty stomach, dose is the 100 microgram, you have to reach that dose. So follow up 3 to 6 monthly, maintain TSH in normal range, that is important, very important, mostly lifelong therapy. And one thing is important, there is what is the dose age wise. So what is the dose of thyroxine? A common question in case of your short case in examination may ask thyroxine कितना देना होगा extra GS को। এই ডোজটা মনে রাখ, 10 থেকে 15, 10 to 15 is important. 1 to 6 months, 6 to 10, all these things thereafter, but this is important, this you have to remember. This will be, you will ask this one.